Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good evening to all of you. Allow me to begin by wishing my Muslim guests Selamat Hari Aidilfitri, mohon maaf zahir dan batin. I'm happy to welcome all of you to this joyous event, but please allow me to begin my speech in Malay. Bulan Ramadan yang baru berlalu membawa banyak pengertian, khususnya buat diri saya sendiri. Saya bangga melihat umat Islam berlumba-lumba merebut peluang beramal jariah, memperkukuh silaturahmi selain tekun beribadah. Sepanjang Ramadan, kita berbesar hati membuka ruang masjid dan rumah kita kepada sahabat handai pelbagai kaum dan agama untuk sama-sama berbuka puasa dan juga menolong mereka yang memerlukan. Kempen sentuhan Ramadan Muiz iaitu rahmah bermula daripada saya adalah satu nilai yang amat murni dan saya harap kita dapat terus menghidupkannya sepanjang hayat insya-Allah. Alangkah indahnya semangat perpaduan yang kita nikmati selama ini. Ia adalah antara tunggal kekuatan kita sebagai sebuah masyarakat majmuk Singapura yang menjunjung tinggi budaya berbilang kaum. Sikap tabah dan kecekalan masyarakat kita walaupun dilanda pelbagai ujian getir membuat masyarakat Melayu Islam bersatu dan tidak mudah goyah. Contohnya ketika masyarakat digegarkan dengan ancaman Jemaah Islamiah dan terorisme lebih 15 tahun lalu, kita berganding bahu dan melangkah ke hadapan dengan membina beberapa institusi penting yang memupuk keharmonian Singapura seperti Pusat Harmoni, Yayasan Rahmatan Lil Alamin dan Pusat Pemulihan Keagamaan atau RRG. Nilai berdaya tahan ini telah membolehkan kita mencapai banyak kemajuan. Masyarakat Islam kini menikmati kemajuan memberangsangkan dari segi pendidikan, ekonomi, kestabilan institusi keluarga dan kehidupan beragama kita. Hari ini, kita dapat berbangga dengan pencapaian ramai anak-anak Melayu Islam. Kita yang menempa nama dalam pelbagai bidang di pesada dunia. Ada di antara mereka hadir bersama kita pada malam ini. Pencapaian mereka ini adalah sesuatu yang mungkin tidak dapat kita bayangkan pada satu masa dahulu. Apa yang jelas, kita menaruh harapan besar ke atas golongan muda ini untuk memacu kejayaan masyarakat yang seterusnya pada masa hadapan. Namun, Singapura tidak terlindung daripada pelbagai cabaran, termasuk ancaman radikalisme, fahaman ekstremis dan unsur pengganasan. Masyarakat kita tersentak dan teramat kecewa setelah mendapat tahu tentang penangkapan 3 individu Muslim yang terpesong setelah menjadi radikal secara sendiri. Insiden ini mengingatkan kita bahawa kita tidak mempunyai pilihan selain menggandakan kerjasama antara pihak keluarga, masyarakat dan pemerintah demi membasmi ancaman ini. Kita memerlukan strategi bersatu padu yang boleh membimbing masyarakat kita dengan berkesan sesuai dengan perkembangan serantau dan global. Butirannya akan saya kongsi sebentar lagi. Saudara-saudara sekalian, biar apapun rintangan yang mendatang, saya yakin semua cabaran dapat diatasi dan semoga ia menjadi kita sebagai sebuah masyarakat yang teguh, berihsan dan penyayang. Marilah sama-sama kita berganding bahu, mengerak langkah ke arah masa depan yang lebih cerah untuk keluarga, masyarakat dan negara kita. Harapan saya tersemat dalam pantun berikut. Malam-malam pasang pelita, terangnya dian berseri-seri. Biar cabaran menggugat kita, toleransi berpaduan, trust identity. Berkain pelika duduk di anjung, bersama Tok Yang tekun bercerita. Negara dihormat, budaya disanjung, ihsan penyayang pakaian kita. Kini izinkan saya meneruskan ucapan saya dalam bahasa Inggeris. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, this Ramadan we saw the best of our community. The spirit of gotong royong was strong as our community prepared for the breaking of fast and the nightly prayers. The friendship was real as we welcome our friends from other faiths to our mosques and community organizations to break fast together. The sense of shared humanity was deep as we reached out to the less fortunate to share the humble porridge and to help beautify their homes. While fasting is a religious ritual for Muslims, we welcome Ramadan as an occasion to expand our common space and strengthen the ties that bind us as a nation. Indeed, MUIS's Ramadan campaign theme this year, Rahmah, or compassion begins with me, epitomizes what Islam is truly about. Leading a life of compassion means caring for others, for our family, our neighbors, our community, and our nation. Renewing family ties and friendship is what makes every Ramadan so special to all of us. It is a time to reflect on the peace and prosperity that we have as a community have enjoyed, celebrate that we have accomplished, and reaffirm our commitment to protect what we cherish. The past 6 months saw many in our community attain peaks of excellence in broad range of areas. When Nusrina binti Yaacob became the first Singaporean Malay Muslim woman to scale Mount Everest, I felt a deep sense of pride. In April, Muhammad Ridwan captured not just the Asia Super Featherweight title, but also the hearts of many, as he became Singapore's first World Boxing Association champion. We can also be proud of Dr. Rosaliana Rawi, who graduated with a PhD in education from the University of Cambridge, and Dr. Johannes Abdul Aziz, who obtained a PhD in political science from the University of California at Berkeley. For our Malay Muslim organizations, this is a year of milestones. We started the year with Mendaki's 35th anniversary and a year-long campaign called Raikan Ilmu, or celebrating knowledge, to nurture the love for learning. Similarly, Jamia and PPIS are celebrating their 85th and 65th anniversaries respectively this year, and both do important work and have helped many in our community. And in April, we proudly welcome the new Yusof Ishak Mosque in memory of our first President of Singapore. And finally, we also received the excellent news that the Saudi government has agreed to increase our official Hajj quota from 680 to 800. We've accomplished all this against a backdrop of a more uncertain economic climate, a volatile security environment, and a diverse social landscape. Our community is no stranger to challenges. 3 incidents stand out for me in the past 2 decades when our community was severely tested and had emerged the stronger. In 2002, we were shocked to find in our midst members of the Jemaah Islamiyah planning terror attacks in the region and at home. But the community rallied together, remained resilient, and responded with decisive action. Today, we have the Religious Rehabilitation Group, or RRG, led by our senior asatizahs who volunteered themselves as counselors to help rehabilitate and reintegrate radicalized individuals. We also started interfaith dialogues and launched the Harmony Center at An-Nahda. To live out the ideals of Islam as a religion of peace, we created the Rahmatan Lil Alamin Foundation, or Blessings to All Foundation, to aid universal humanitarian causes. We have embarked on these endeavors and much more with the sole objective of protecting our social fabric against the actions of a misguided few. Then in 2003, compulsory education was implemented. There were widespread rumors then about the impending closure of our madrasas, but we rose to the occasion to ensure that this did not happen. 15 years on, we can be proud of our 6 full-time madrasas, as well as a strong joint madrasa system that produces both our future religious leaders and promising youths who also go on to perform well in our mainstream institutions of higher learning. Throughout the decade, we also work hard to stabilize rising divorce rates in our community. The Sharia Court introduced marriage counseling program to save marriages and cater to the best interests of the child. We set up Inspirasi Hub and Vista Sakina to help young couples and reconstituted families stay strong. The coverage of Muslims under the Human Organ Transplant Act, or HOTA, was also hotly debated, but our senior asatizah stepped forward to convince the community that this practice is in line with Islamic principles as it promotes public interest and welfare. This and many other instances demonstrate a community resolved to tackle its own challenges and resilient to adversity. And in this process, we have also nurtured confidence among our young. Our youth, our future, they are our future leaders and the future captains of our institutions. So I'm very proud to see many of our young doing well, doing good for the community and for Singapore. It doesn't matter if it takes 7 years, Nusrina, it makes a difference. The video is but one snapshot of the tremendous talent in our community. We must impart the right values so that our young have the right mindset to learn and succeed. The economy is undergoing technological revolution. Jobs in the future are likely to require different skill sets than what is required today. So we must nurture in them lifelong learning as a way of life, as well as help and encourage each other to do so. And by doing so, we ensure that our young are ready for the future. But we also face imminent threats, and the great challenge of our time is the radical ideology that has hijacked the name of Islam. ISIS-inspired extremists continue to stalk the internet, influencing and corrupting the impressionable and gullible, many of whom are young people. Just in the last 2 weeks of Ramadan, our community was jolted by the news of 2 new cases of radicalization. In each case, family and friends knew about the subject's inclinations, but did not seek expert help early. I can understand the dilemma faced by family members in such an extremely difficult situation. Telling others may seem like a betrayal of trust, but I urge these families and friends to fully consider the consequences of not seeking help from the authorities. Their inaction might cause a loved one to lose his or her life, or worse, if the subject had succeeded in traveling to Syria. Their inaction might have allowed innocents to be hurt or killed. Their inaction would have brought some shame and even guilt to our community. Their inaction could have harmed the social harmony in Singapore. For societies around the world, inaction, ambivalence, or nonchalant attitudes have destroyed lives and broken communities. We have already seen how terrorist attacks have wreaked havoc in cities around the world, whether in the US, Europe, Asia, or the Middle East. The terrorists perversely choose to set up their terror campaigns during Ramadan, a month where Muslims are encouraged to show more compassion to everyone, regardless of race or religion. And so we cannot allow extremist and exclusivist ideologies to take root here in Singapore. We have and will firmly deal with any preacher, whether local or foreigner, who promote exclusive teachings, as well as publications intend to sow discord in our multiracial society. In overcoming our past challenges, the starting point has always been the resolve of our community. More than ever before, as a community, we must have the resolve to do what is right, especially to protect our young. As studies have shown, and as testified by the recent arrests, troubled youth need counseling and guidance. Our young must know that violence can never be the answer for the problems they face. Presently, we have a number of asatiza who already appeal to the young with their youth-centric programs. We want to help further enhance their social media presence and reach to counter the threat of extremist ideologies and exclusive ideologies. So MUIS will set up a network of asatizas and other youth groups who will be trained in youth counseling, counter-radicalization efforts, and on how to boost their online presence to offer support and guidance to our youth on social media. These asatizas may include mosque-based religious teachers and private Islamic education providers. They will be on hand to provide a safe place for young and their families to discuss issues that they have and to seek religious advice on complex matters. This network is an important step in our battle for the hearts and minds of our youth to inoculate them from such extreme elements and to overcome the inhibition of discussing issues of radicalization. With the community and the Asatiza fraternity's support, we will build the capacity of our Asatizas in this network to be a resource to our community by being the first touch point for those in doubt. As a safe space within the community, anyone can feel comfortable seeking advice or counseling from our ARS Asatizas. This network will complement the work of the RRG, whose expertise will help more serious cases. A resilient community depends on the strength of its institutions. The architects of the Administration of Muslim Law Act, or AMLA, and in particular the late Professor Ahmad Ibrahim, drew inspiration from other jurisdictions, but yet recognized that we needed a piece of legislation unique to our context. For the past 50 years, AMLA has served us well. Subsequent legislators updated it, but always with a view to find some common ground with civil legislation so that Muslims can practice Islam within a multicultural, multi-religious, and secular society. So earlier this week, I tabled the amendments to AMLA in Parliament. The Act aims at strengthening our key institutions. Following a month-long consultation with key stakeholders, there was strong support to strengthen the management of our Waqaf and Muslim families. There have also been some useful suggestions. Some of these, such as extending support to vulnerable family members in estate distribution matters will need a bit of time for us to study, and we will work with our stakeholders in this process. Last year, I shared about the importance of developing our future religious leaders who are steeped in Islamic tradition and fully appreciative of our unique Singapore context. We need such leaders who can inculcate sound religious values that are most appropriate for our society. And to achieve this, I've asked MUIS to consider the feasibility for our community to set up an Islamic college in Singapore to train a new generation of asatizahs. So I'm happy to report that we're making good progress. Key to the success of our homegrown college would be a robust curriculum. We are developing a curriculum framework that focuses on competencies with solid foundation in vocational competencies and producing graduates who are able to provide religious leadership and guidance in solving real-world problems within our multi-religious and multiracial context. MUIS have formed an internal work group to plan for the development of the college, and we will seek views from our community. We will also learn from the best institutions from around the world. Earlier this year, I had the opportunity to speak to Professor Hamzah Yusof, the president of Zaytuna College, and he welcomed Singapore to conduct a study trip to Zaytuna. We also look at the more traditional institutions such as Al-Azhar University in the Middle East. Our community have built up strong institutions, but in a fast-changing world, we must continue to innovate and evolve these organizations. As you all know, MUIS will be celebrating its Golden Jubilee in 2018, and this is timely an opportunity for us to engage the community to chart its direction for the future. And this is critical for MUIS to stay relevant to both our community and to Singapore. So based on the theme, Semarak Langkah Berjiwa Rahmah, or in English, striving with confidence, serving with compassion, MUIS will focus on 3 key areas. First, we will celebrate our mosques and madrasas, which are the pride of our community. MUIS will be organizing a mosque convention and madrasa open house. We also honor individuals who have contributed to the development of MUIS and the community by recognizing these inspirational stories during the annual MUIS award ceremony. Secondly, MUIS 50 is also an appropriate milestone for reflection. In recent years, MUIS have stepped forward to promote progressive religious discourse, not just in Singapore, but in the region too. The Distinguished Visitor Program and the Fatwa compilation series are prime examples, and we have the capacity to spread our ideas. So next year, MUIS will host an international conference of religious scholars and a roundtable on Wakaf development to learn and generate ideas on key socio-religious issues. Lastly, since its inception in 1968, with only 7 members, MUIS have seen grown in size and its role in serving the socio-religious needs of our community and beyond. MUIS has maintained a strong partnership with key stakeholders, and we need to look at new ways to ensure that the socio-religious needs of our community are met amidst a changing social landscape both locally and globally. MUIS therefore will organize a series of engagements to tap on the wisdom and the insights of the different segments of our community. Mendaki is celebrating its 35th anniversary this year. Educational achievement remains a critical priority for our community. And every year, the number of Malay Muslim students doing well across all national examinations and in the institutions of higher learning has been increasing. But we need to go beyond formal education. Continuous learning becomes more important in a world where economic and technological change are happening at an increasingly faster rate. We need to make lifelong learning a habit in our community. Mendaki will therefore focus on 2 areas, being future-ready and school-ready, to complement its work in helping our students to do well in school. First, Mendaki set up its future-ready unit to help our students in the institutes of higher learning and working professionals prepare for the future economy. By establishing youth spaces at our ITEs, Mendaki is well placed to engage our students and complement technical training with relevant skills to be future-ready. Mendaki will also engage other IHLs. Mendaki will also start Socialton, a platform bringing together the creative energies of our young adults with the experience and wisdom of industry experts and professionals to find innovative solutions and testbed ideas to get the community geared up for the future economy. Further upstream, Mendaki has started work in helping parents with children in preschool. Last year, Mendaki launched My Early Adventure, a guide for parents with children aged 0 to 6 years, a comprehensive resource repository on useful information and tips to empower our parents, especially those from the lower income, on the know-hows for the holistic development of their children. The guide has been very well received by our parents, and we want to work closely with our parents to expand its reach. The founders of Mendaki built an institution to provide support in education, as they believe that education is the most important enabler. They poured their heart and soul into building an institution that we can all be proud of. Today, we see a flowering of groups led by younger members of our community with the same spirit and ambition as our pioneers. And against this backdrop, and as a follow-up from its perception study conducted earlier this year, Mendaki will embark on a series of conversations with the community to solicit ideas and suggestions on what more can be done by Mendaki to help our community adopt a culture of lifelong learning and being ready for the future. So unlike many other minorities community in a modern democracy, our community has adapted well to life in modern Singapore. National and community institutions have helped to shape an ethos of hard work, resilience, and most importantly, the ability to adapt and change in the face of challenges. Each of these challenges may be different, but what is common is that we have demonstrated resolve and resilience, and we're enlightened in finding new solutions unique to our own social context. We must continue to keep this spirit of inquiry and appreciating different perspectives alive as we navigate an even more changing global and local landscape. We will be confronted with challenges brought about by growing diversity in our community, by technological and scientific changes that would improve lives, yet present moral dilemmas, and the diffusion of religious authorities with varying degrees of interpretations that could be at odds with our way of life. So how do we ensure that the wisdom we possess match the uncertainties we face? Try as we might, sometimes we will get it right, but some other times we may be off the mark. But we must never give up and compromise on the core values that have held our community and nation together. So like the youths in our video, we need to take ownership in changing our destiny. Non Yurusina call on us to dig deep when the going gets tough. Nor Mastura convince herself to help others because of her own personal experience. Habib Noor was determined he must do whatever it takes so that he would not fail. Nordian said that we must never stop improving ourselves to stay relevant, and Sadikul called on everyone to help someone else to make it a better place for all. And finally, Ustazah Liana encouraged us to look beyond our own prejudices and that we should stand united as one people. These voices give me hope, and I'm confident of our future. With strong educational progress, with more of our young men and women coming forward to contribute, and with the support of strong key institutions and community organizations, we have no reason to fear the future. We must stand firm that Singapore is our home, which we love, care, and protect with fellow Singaporeans. The future is ours to shape. So I urge our community leaders to focus on the substantive development of our identity as Malays, as Muslims, and most importantly, as Singaporeans. What will stand the test of time is not our material wealth, but the character of our people. One that's resilient against adversity, resolved to do the right thing, pursues innovation and continual learning as a way of life, and most importantly, one who is a blessing to everyone around them. Thank you very much.